let me read to you the list of players as we get ready to go into Shattered Temple for game number 2. These are some of the players that Alive's beaten, whether taking games off. Show, MMA, Thorzane, Marine King, Polt, Gonzi, the STC, Nada, Puma, Heart, Virus. These are all the tip top. When everyone looks at Korea and say like, man, it's dominated by those Terrans, it's all by those people in the list.
I've never heard of any of those players.
And Alive's beaten or taken games off them, so this is a guy that's been absolutely feared, not just in practice, but now in tournaments. And SeleCT's one game away from taking it, and look what he's doing right now. SeleCT is proxying.
You cheeky monkey, SeleCT, you cheeky monkey. I'm sorry about that before. I realized I didn't have replay sync, so I was trying to get that up, but I didn't get it in time. So it's okay. You'll have to look at my screen. But let's talk about this really quickly. This is the Shattered Temple. It was Alive's choice, of course. And it is force cross positions, so SeleCT knows exactly where his opponent is. He is going to put this barracks here. Now, this is a normal thing to scout. But Alive, oh my gosh, Alive, does he even know this is force cross positions? I don't think he does.
Oh,
Or,
either way, he's going to...
He's not going to...
He's not there. He's going to scout top. Huh. All right, so
this might be Marauder pressure.
This could be
a little common.
Actually, we've seen this in the GSL. I think the first time we saw it was Keen versus Supernova back in like GSL last year, and it was an incredible, funky game. Like I don't even remember how to describe it, but it was just like the Marauders with concussive shells was able to really take out the Marines eventually. But the idea is, early on, Marauders dominate Marines because they just don't die with like single DPS. You can see the Marine very anxious of taking out that SCV, and Alive still has no clue whatsoever.
Nope, concussive shell is instantly started.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and... Oh, he was too scared that there was a Marine up there, so he didn't go up.
Oh.
The Marauders are going to do so much damage here.
Oh, Alive. Oh, man. This could end really quickly. Oh, he's going to... Oh, man. He's placing a factory, and it's going to be so long before Alive's going to be able to do anything. He's going to try to scout up here. He sees 2 supply depots. He's going to be like, wait, nothing's here. And Alive. He's got to be panicking at this point.
Yes. Oh, no. He puts down a reactor. Wow, that is the worst. The worst thing that could happen for him.
Wow, so
I don't know what he was reading right now. I think I don't know what he's reading. He should read that there is a potential for Marauder. Okay, so he's looking for
he's looking for anything, a barracks. He's looking for something. He says maybe he hides it or not.
But
now he knows, and I think he's pulling all his SCVs. And SeleCT, he's waiting for his 3rd Marauder. Wow, normally you see them pushing with 2 because that's how long it takes for the concussive shell to finish. But SeleCT waiting for his 3rd Marauder.
Yeah. No, you will wait for 3 normally. I think that is a good number.
Well,
but I don't know why he pulled all of his SCVs like that. I think he couldn't. He had to have known it wasn't double barracks pressure.
And he put all his SCVs back on the middle line. The reactor under siege. SeleCT immediately starting a bunker, and that reactor will drop. And so SeleCT is just going to kite as best as he can back here. Alive only has 4 Marines now with these Marauders. 2 volleys all it takes. Nope, with 4 Marauders, still 2 volleys, but still, it's going to be a very, very hard thing. You know, no matter what, Alive loses a lot of SCVs. You can see that 1 Marauder is getting kite back. Good control here from SeleCT, really trying to maximize everything. And with those Marines and Hellions, their shields are about to run out really soon. These SCVs are getting very, very supple.
Supple indeed. Now, oh my goodness. I mean, these Marauders are still cutting back and forth.
Wow, targeting down the Marines, too. Look at this. Wow.
So he's finally able to clear that out. There is a bunker. Canceled, though. A Hellion's going to get in here, but SeleCT is producing Hellion for himself. Now, this Hellion could be the comeback king. 10-2 right now. It is, equal harvesters. Wow. So SeleCT was not making additional harvesters this whole time.
Wow.
Oh, God.
And he's been harvesting way too much gas. But look at how weak those SCVs are, and 1 Marine and 1 Hellion is exactly what Alive needed to do. Look at that. That's exactly why Alive is so feared in TVT, because his decision-making and reaction has been very strong. Look at that. At the end of it, you can see 10 workers killed to 7. Alive not that far behind, but the big name of the game is that SeleCT has nothing really to defend back at home. He's got 1 Hellion.
That's really tough. I don't know how SeleCT can come back from this, because the incoming units are just... They look so much.
Yeah, they're going to try to bust down the supply depot wall. SeleCT, he's running out of SCVs as well.
Wow. And there are Marauders in between here, cutting the supply. And look at this, they're going to go directly into the Never mind. Okay, they're going to go directly into the
He's going to catch
Marauders.
one SCV. Yeah, Select has to be careful, but now Select's also going to be endangered of supply block. Oh, Select has one Banshee in queue, though, and that could be the difference maker.
Yeah, I would agree. And these
that
three Marauders are going to come up here.
Maker.
Oh my gosh, Alive doesn't have a bunker up in time.
Oh, wow. Oh, man, that's going to be very devastating now.
And, oh gosh, Alive isn't using his units in the front.
Huh.
That's a really weird thing, but these Marauders, again, are going to go to town on these SCVs. Nice micro back, but still the SCV will go down. Now targeting down the Hellions, but that's going to be ill-fated as he can repair the Hellions, but he's not going to.
Yeah, that flame retarded suit from Marauders are extremely resilient against those Hellions. You can see that Select still rallying his units. Now, the big ace card, the trump, if you will, is this Banshee. But Alive is getting a Viking. And he knows Alive, he's so smart, look at that, and he's cutting back with his Hellion as fast as he can, and you can see Select not able to really pick it up. Great micro control from both players, but still, look at that, the Banshee flies straight into the Marines and the Banshee.
Ooh, it might be able to get out of here. Cloak is 50 seconds away. Okay, maybe not.
This is so crazy. What did I tell you, man? Proxy Marauders is the funky games, man. The funky games that come out.
I love funky games, though. Let's go ahead and look at the income tab. 22 to 17 in favor of Alive. So even though there was additional SCVs that were taken out, Select still has not been able to make additional units. So rough for him. Now there is another Banshee out here. Should be able to clear out everything over there in time. Oh, the Banshee's gonna go right into the Viking Cloak. He's not done.
And Select tried to press Cloak. He had the Banshee selected, but just not enough. And now we have this awkward time where there's 2 Vikings, 2 Marines, and 3 Aliens for Alive, and his defenses are extremely vulnerable. He just needs more DPS, like just raw DPS to hold off things. He needs Marines because if he's going to continue to make Banshees or kite with the Banshees, he's going to be in trouble. Select finally attempts to expand here, trying to bring some stability to the game, but he's still behind in workers. Alive up 25 to 19 and expanding himself. But
things are going to change now. I love the decision to get 3 Vikings. That's the magic number. 3 Vikings. Only need 2 rounds of shots to kill Banshees. And there it is, the Cloak is initiated. He does have energy. It looks for 1 scan. But if he burns this here, it will be useless.
Yeah.
And there he goes. The Banshee will always be able to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a great place to scan. In fact, you can see that the Banshee was out of range of the Vikings, so even if it took volleys from it, the Cloak acted as a shield. Select has a couple more barracks in production. Of course, Select loves his biocontrol as per usual. You can see the Banshee still going back to work in the main. Alive, losing a lot of workers. Now, if Select can kill off just a couple more, you'd be able to really equalize, but the Banshee energy runs out before he's able to do anything.
Well done. 22 probes, 22 SCVs dying right here. You can see finally Select is taking the lead in the harvester count.
22 to 18 and 12 minutes in the game. This is such low econ. The turret finally finishes. The Banshee barely gets away. Look at that. Select. Great control, picking off anything he can. These Banshees have done so much. If we look at the units lost, even though resource-wise, Alive just lost a lot of units. All his Marines, his SCVs, has been pretty costly, and forcing Alive to make it.
Oh, his Cloak expires, and he will be able to get out. So really nicely done by him. Nice bunker positioning as well. Stops the Hellions from doing any further damage. And this time he can get a couple of upgrades. Let's go ahead and look and see where each of these players are. Actually, another Banshee coming in here, so the harass isn't finished. But a Raven is around.
Yeah, you can't
Vikings aren't, though.
It's so funny is that Select still has his barracks still proxy as if nothing ever happened.
All right, let's take a look at this income tab. 18 to 25 in favor of Select.
And he's a quicker command center.
He has a quicker command center. He has double production. Looks like 3rd barracks is underway. Alive doesn't have a lot of tech here. It's really a lot of counter tech. But at this point, with this one single barracks, or excuse me, one single bunker, I don't think his opponent can really do anything. He is getting another factory. I think Select can hold this pretty efficiently. And I like what he's doing, just putting down a bunker, seeing if he can push out. And he's just going to chill out and defend accordingly.
I like the incorporation of the Raven as well, because you know Select has been making things like Banshees and Marauders, so the point defense drone will be really effective, as well as just dropping the auto turret for zoning. Alive, oh wow, the factory taking heavy damage.
Now this does give a little bit of room for those Hellions to run by. Factory cannot be dropped yet. There it goes finally. Whew.
Nice.
Close one. But okay. So
let's talk a little bit about.
Oh, the Banshee.
Oh, it should be okay. You can see that Select's very, very careful with his control. And man, oh,
wow! I thought that was dead for sure.
He is. Select's a big gamble, man. Like if you go that deep into the hole, man, Select is playing very, very, very well. But at the same time, it's such like a thin line between brilliance and losing your Banshee.
Puppy dog face, man. That is
all
so
right,
sad.
so this is like this is what I'm talking about, funky TVT. So Gretorp, now this is like a situation that we're not really used to seeing. What can we really expect? Who has the advantage here?
Select. Easily. Stim is about to finish. That is such a critical upgrade.
Right.
Blue Flame Hellion isn't anywhere near. And, you know, Live doesn't have the infrastructure to really deal with mass balls at this point. Marines and Marauders, once they ball up effectively, they can really take out any amount of Hellions. It's just so efficient because the Hellions need like continual attacks to actually kill anything. But you can see he's invested a lot of his gas into Banshees to do this counter aggression, but Stim is already finished, as we said. Cloak isn't, and down goes the Banshee. Boom.
Yeah.
There's another Banshee up here. Cloak is finished. Okay, I was wrong. Sorry for that.
But yeah, now that Alive's trying to put on the counter pressure, but he's not as careful. You can see Select being able to clean up much easier, and Stim is a huge factor for it. The barracks finally drops here, but Select has yet again another Banshee that he saved a very long time ago with lots of stockpiled energy. Now here's an interesting part of TVT where if you force scans out of your opponent, you can actually make yourself much more ahead just from that. So this is exactly what Select wants. If you can force 2 scans, you'd be good. But 1 is, I think, good enough at this point.
Yeah, and as you can see, it is super low economy. Fnatic Alive is losing a lot of his mineral patches in his main.
Oh my gosh.
So is Select.
Oh, Select's had to use supply drops because you got a supply block, too.
Yeah.
This is so crazy. But Select also has his own Raven, not in position, but he's going to chase this Banshee and pick it off. A very key play indeed. Both players are trying to utilize their scans. Oh, sorry, try to burn each other's scans so that they can't use it to get production. And now it's just like such a curious point because things like Select doesn't have siege mode done, Alive does, but Alive doesn't have Stim. In fact, he's not even starting Stim, so he's really far behind in that department. And just like you said, Alive has to kind of rebuild from the ground up, and Select has a lot of tech advantage.
Not only that, he has quality supply. Hellions at this point, I mean, even though they have very equal supply limits, Select is just so far ahead because this ball is so scary. What does his opponent have to deal with this? Not a lot. I mean, yes, he has tanks for himself. He has siege mode ready, but off of this, he's going to take amazing map control, and we've seen what map control does.
Yeah.
First game really showed that.
And he's picking off some of the Vikings, and he does pick off 2. That's actually very big in terms of securing map, especially against this Raven.
Stim is not finished. Yeah, he's going to go for it right now, Frodan. The Marauders need to target down.
From Select, and the SCVs are being pulled. This is the defining moment here. Will Alive be able to hold off? The Siege Tank finally get in position. Siege Mode finishing at a clutch time. Alive landing his Viking, but with no reinforcements in sight. Select looks like he should be able to push into this natural. Alive has only 2 tanks left, and Select does get one of the Marauders into position. Alive has nothing really able to fold up to the candle of the Terran Force, and by Terran Force I mean 2 tanks and 1 Banshee and a Marine. The weirdest collection of units ever for a huge attack. Alive trying to hold on desperately with his Cloaked Banshee, but with Select going back, and he sees that mineral counts are getting very low for Alive.
It's crazy. I mean, so many SCVs have been killed, 44 to 24, right?
Oh my goodness.
But look at the income tab. They're at equal harvesters.
This is ridiculous. Both players are mining out of their main. They're both harassing each other with the Banshees. And in the end of everything, Alive is the one who has... he's the one that's coming up short here. He doesn't have much answer to the Banshees. His Marines still don't have Stim. So he can't deal with the fact that Select is making more and more Banshees, and Select senses it. That's why he's making more Banshees, which is so clever of him. And at this point, Select can just try to out-multitask his opponent and really keep him contained at this point.
Exactly. And what I really like about this... Okay, so Alive, even though he looks in terrible position right now, he's not as bad as it might seem. That engagement was really good for Select, but Select hasn't actually transferred to his SCVs. There you go. He had about, let me go ahead and actually get the correct number for you. He had, what is that, 22 or 20? Minus 9, 11 SEVs doing absolutely nothing.
That's like 400. That's a lot of minerals.
Yeah, that is a lot of, you're absolutely right, 440 minerals a minute.
Oh, and Select not really careful with his Banshees. Now the big thing is that Select's Banshees he still has the advantage. But this is just so weird because it's like both players are just trying to just harass each other and gain advantage with these Banshees non-stop. And this is like the longest extended Banshee harass I've seen in a long time. Normally they cut it out. It's 22 minutes in this game, by the way. And another Banshee.
We've been on one base for 22 minutes. That's a fact.
It's like PvP, like one time when you start long distance mining and like you're still 4-gating.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'll get you this time with my whatever this is. I don't even know what this is.
This is so crazy. And like Select he's the one coming out favorably on trades. That's the big thing because Alive. He does have stim finally. He does have combat shields, but Select's been hugging the walls better. He's been maneuvering his Banshees in more clever tactics of positions. And look at that, just another scan wasted. It's a case in point.
Oh no, and here's a classic reason why you need map control and you need to really have intelligence on the map as well. Siege Tanks and Marines will get into great position here. This obviously gives the initiative over to Select, forces the Marines to be in very I would say unfavorable positions, and then he can rearrange his Siege Tanks and his Marines to make better decisions all around.
He's going to pick off the tank at the top of the high ground. A huge move. Select also has this Banshee working on anything that pops out of production. Will he be able to get out the last tank? If he does, Select will have it. If he gets a tank, he does manage to get it, and there's no more positioning advantage for Alive. Select stims, takes out one of the Banshees. He moves in. We see Alive pulling almost all of his SCVs. Fnatic Alive trying to hold on for dear life. Select dropping his auto turret. The tanks are working on everything. Alive supply is dropping below half. GG! Select takes game number 2 in a huge upset over to IPL4 winner Alive.
Wow.
Dignitas Select. What are you doing to me, man?
That was non-stop action that whole game. Absolutely brilliant. Select pulling it off. I don't even know what happened there.
Like
Marauders, Hellions.
Instant replay bill. No, man, we got so much stuff going on here.
Good God, man.
Yeah, so
that was crazy.
Let's break down a couple of things. First of all, Select's control was fantastic, but have to give credit to how he initiated his pushes and the timing of his pushes as well. Yeah.
You know, one thing I want to really emphasize is micro. The micro, as you said, his control was just so good. Now, his macro slipped, obviously. We saw that, the harvester count. Let me just pull it up real quick. 78?
78 workers were killed. And
they were on one base the whole time.
Yeah.
So 78 workers were killed at the end. And, you know, obviously Select got the worker advantage there. But throughout the whole game, he was pretty much behind. That's tough. That means you have to be super cost efficient with your units, and Select was able to do that. He was actually 4,000 minerals or 4,000 resources ahead at the end of the game, which makes him so efficient. That means, what is that?
Yeah.
46%, something like
around
that.
There. And like Select had great prioritizing. A lot of times people just kind of like use their Banshees to pick up wherever they can. Knew to disable the tanks, loved the position with the Banshee, pick off anything production, anything that came down, instantly sniped by the tanks that would be able to range it out. Select, great priority, great multitasking, and fantastic control. Good work on the macro, but that's always for next week. For now, he's celebrating his win as he fights off in the MSI Battlegrounds. Guys, that game and series was brought to you by Epson. Thank you so much for them provide the projectors for NASL Season 3. We love you guys.